Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om, Shivoham Om. Welcome to another Satsang with your host Chuck the Yogi from the Yogi Cave on this hot summer day. Sweaty, hot, grass-cutting day. Let us continue hard and fast down this root scripture, the root of so many things, Tantra, Dakini school, which Machendranath really represents. His disciple is the one that kind of broke out and created the Nath tradition, but the more we go into this, the further, if you have an inkling of it, you'll see the tantric roots of it all that branched out later on into places like Tibet and Bhutan, Nepal, which is why it was found in a Buddhist monastery in Nepal, and of course India. Anyway, let's continue. One suffers bondage by being ignorant of this transcendental form, which is like an entire sphere, immutable and non-divisible into segments, a toroidal, self-contained infinity. But by perceiving it, one becomes emancipated from all fetters, O goddess. The deity is devoid of mind and non-mind, independent of meditation and concentration, always perceivable, eternal, like a blue flower in appearance, rich in all hues and at the same time beyond all colors, attainable through transcendental wisdom and through the succession of masters and disciples. So we see that even in this early text, the importance of mastership and discipleship and retaining the information and passing it on properly. O goddess, the characteristics of Kula have been declared as they are, as deep an understanding as this one should not worship, even in the mind, a linga made of wood, clay, stone, jewel, brass, gold, iron, crystal, tin, lead, or copper. Why? Because a linga is a prop, okay? It's a prop. It's beautiful, and I got lingas, black lingas, white lingas. I got all kinds of lingas, but I understand, and even mercury lingas, but I understand that these are props, right? Which are painted with colors of flowers, as it is worshipped by common people and according to the 18 popular scriptures, both vulgar and spiritual. O great goddess, this happens because the common people are like animals, pashus, and they are devoid of knowledge. Those are ignorant ones, indulging in wrong practices and devoid of any knowledge of the Kula tradition. One should not keep company and should not derive any material benefit from them. Why? Because over and over again you see that people want to engage in these practices in order to obtain material goods, material wealth, and whatnot. I keep on thinking of Nityananda of Ganesh Puri and how sometimes we would just get pissed off and throw rocks at people. He was so sick of people just going up to him, just asking for material benefits. That's not what he was there for. I mean, he would give them, but he just got sick of it. And one day he just said, I'm leaving. It's just going to get worse. And the next day he went to Samadhi. Why? Because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about a transcendental focus in this tradition, this root tradition, right? All the gods such as Brahma, demons, saintly people engage in spiritual practices, siddhas, yakshas, gandharvas, grass, bushes, insects, planets, sidereal, constellations, stars, and others, and all the moving and static entities all emanate from the center of the creative vibration, spanda, and dissolves into the same. So spanda, vibration, is that first stirring of the singularity which created all things, the so-called Big Bang. This is what we're talking about. And it also implies that everything is based on vibration, right? This linga is the doer of both creation and dissolution, as worshipped by the siddhas, the accomplished ones. Its form, which shines by its own effulgence, is immaculate, eternal, is immeasurable and always pervading, is dazzling like a meteor lighting up the sky. By realizing and perceiving this great linga, one becomes eligible to attain emancipation. So we're talking about the formless form, right? Yogis in their infinite compassion have created all kinds of props, right? And I came to this full realization when I went to Ujjain during the Simasta Kumbh Mela, and I had an encounter with that which lies beyond the Mahakal prop, okay? And this is what it's talking about here, which is why I find this scripture so important. The linga is not destroyed by frightening clouds, which shower hails and torrential rain. It is not destroyed even by fire and does not fall when struck by a thunderbolt, right? We're talking about the linga sustains the linga. Like the linga in Ujjain was destroyed several times by Muslims and several times was erected. Why? Because there's a force behind that, right? That's what sustains it. It's not the form itself, right? That's just the appearance, the shell. Anyway, O goddess, one who wants to achieve the transcendental siddhis or powers befitting a Kaula should worship this linga by mentally conceiving sweetly scented flowers, incense, lamps, etc. So we're talking about an internal worship, a formless worship, right? One should worship the mentally conceived linga after properly knowing the implications of offering the following flowers. Nonviolence being the first flower. So we're going back to the Yoga Sutra here. Restraint of the sense organs is the second flower. Compassion, karuna, is the third flower. Right disposition is the fourth flower. Forgiveness is the fifth flower. The subduing of anger, krodha, is the sixth flower. Meditation, dhyana, is the seventh flower. And wisdom, jnana, is the eighth flower. After knowing the secret of the implications of the flowers, one should worship the linga, which is enshrined in the body. By this one may achieve worldly enjoyment and emancipation. So there's never been a denial of worldly enjoyment, right? There's no distinguishing or no division, artificial division between one and the other in this tradition. I mean, you may see that prevalent in Abrahamic traditions, but in the root traditions that we're talking about here, there is no hard and cold division. At one point, just like a cucumber falls off of its stem, like the mantra goes, then you just let go of certain things and you move on, right? But there's no hard and fast division here. Anyway, O goddess, this is a linga located in the body. It is stable and strong and capable of bestowing all desires. One who meditates on the mental linga with self-awareness achieves all the results of whatever one desires. So when a commoner came up to me and saw me laying down when I was at the Kumbh Mela, he was like, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be a yogi." And I was like, in his language, and I says, "I'm doing Manasya Puja." What does that mean? I don't have to make a show, right? I don't have to wear this bling bling. I like it, okay? But I don't have to be all seated up and, being all yogi-ish and all that kind of stuff. It's all in here, right? Anyway, one who meditates on the mental linga with self-awareness achieves all the results, whatever one desires. There's no doubt about it, O goddess. Here have been taught the characteristics of the linga enshrined in the body according to the Kaula tradition. All other lingas, such as those made of stone, wood, clay, and other materials, should be abandoned. The ordinary path is devoid of spiritual attainments and worldly enjoyments. One whose desires are concentrated in the body belongs to the kula knowledge. But those whose desires are scattered outside the body are considered to be animals. So, as within, so without. So a yogin, especially a Kaula yogin from back in the day, would focus on this as the microcosm, right? It's all here, right? There's no out there to speak of. One whose desires are concentrated in the body belongs to the kula knowledge. But those whose desires are scattered outside the body are considered to be animals. Now, O goddess, the essence of the knowledge has been revealed to you. This knowledge should be imparted to one with devotion, but not to one who is devoid of devotion. Though So there you go. I mean, there's the importance of passing these things on properly. But this tradition has been largely buried. You find it in different forms throughout the continent, and I'm just doing my little way of reviving the essence of it and bringing it into a new format, leaving breadcrumbs along the way. Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om, Shivoham, Jai Ma, Jai Mahakal. Till next time.